So interesting demographic here on the voters in this primary. Just one little thing about where the young votes are going. Here's the quick summary. Bernie Sanders. But the interesting part is how overwhelming it is. So far in the primaries, he has gotten more votes under the age of 30 than Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump combined.
Wow.
And he's gotten 1.5 million votes there, 1,542,000 from people under the age of 30. Hillary Clinton was 625,700, obviously just nowhere near Bernie Sanders. And then Trump coming in third at 611,400. In fact, if you take Clinton, Trump, and Kasich combined, they still don't reach Bernie Sanders. So now I show you this partly because, well, that's an interesting demographic, but I can show you others where Hillary Clinton does really well. That's why she's winning right now. With African Americans, she has an even bigger lead. Okay, but so different racial, age groups, income groups. There's a lot of ways to break this down. But why is the youth vote more important? Because that's the next generation. So they're already voting. That's why Bernie Sanders is competitive in a way that no one in Washington could have imagined, right? But on top of that, that tidal wave is coming. And that tidal wave is not going in a Republican direction. It's not going in an establishment direction. That tidal wave has decided that a 74-year-old senator who barely combs his hair, right, who's from a small state like Vermont, who's considered the most liberal senator in America, that's their guy, right? Because he's authentic and he's deeply progressive. So if you want to know where the country's going, that's where it's going.
You know what's more perplexing to me on that chart was the young people that vote for Trump and Cruz. I don't get those people. Those are those, you know, in every one of those like Revenge of the Nerds movies, the jock who was just a dick. Yeah. That's every one of those guys. And like, like, how can you be young and be so unprogressive in thought? I just don't get it. And I don't know if it's maybe some of I heard an interview on NPR, and there was these a younger couple who were saying they're voting for Cruz, and they were deeply religious.
Yes.
So okay, I'm kind of going, maybe that's probably what's happening here. But it just reminds me of that. Like every time I see people, the young guys behind Trump standing there, like the Alex P. Keatons. You know, I'm bringing references from 30 years ago.
Yeah, I like that reference.
Yeah, I'm looking at these guys. I'm like, who is this a-hole? And I despise it. And like, where is their critical thinking and lack of it?
Yeah. Well, so Cruz has the more religious voters. So there goes critical thinking. So that's not surprising. A lot of guys, Bush, others, George W. Bush, got the same guys. I remember that in 2004, Associated Press talked to this woman. She said, they said, well, you disagree with Bush on all these policies. Like, yeah, but he's with God. Ugh. Oh, okay, well, that solves it. So that's a lot of your Cruz voters.
Yes.
And then for Trump, you know who they are. Then his supporters are not the bully, okay? They're not the nerds. They're not the jocks. They're the guys who stand behind the bully while he's bullying people going, yeah, yeah. They're that guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? In high school, there was a lot of those guys who didn't have the balls to do it themselves, but if somebody else was doing it, they're like, oh, we get to pick on someone. Yes!
I'm just disappointed in young people that think like that.
But luckily, there's not that many of them.
Yeah.